It's 1 in the morning. We've got these kits here. They've got hand warmers, water bottles, socks, gloves, chapstick, just some basic essentials that can help somebody survive a harsh night like this. So we head out, we start checking the usual places and, looking to see if we can find anybody who needs any help. And, for the first little while, we weren't having much luck finding anybody, which is a good thing, That means that, a lot of people were able to find somewhere warm to be for the night. But, we didn't give up looking because obviously there were going to be some people. So right here, there was a lady being pushed by another man, and they kind of almost flew out in front of us at the green light. So I turned around to make contact with them and see if they needed any help with resources. And we were actually able to make contact with them and provide some essentials. Hey, sorry about that.
Oh, no worries, bro. No worries.
We're going around handing out blankets and coats. Do you guys need any? Okay.
There's 2 blankets in that red bag and coats and jackets. What size shoes do you wear, man?
About a 9.
About a 9. I have a pair of 8s. You think they'll fit? Okay.
After that, we head back out and begin looking again. We check QFC, but nobody's there because it's later and they're closed. We check McDonald's and nobody. And at this point, we decide maybe it's a good idea to stop and buy some burgers just in case we see anybody out, and, a hot meal could warm somebody up. So across the street, we were able to make contact at Subway on Rainier with a man who declined fresh burgers. He wasn't hungry, but he was cold, so we were able to provide him with a coat. And shook hands, and we were back on our way, looking for more people to help. At this point, the temperature outside is 14 degrees, so people who have nowhere to go or don't have the resources to find warming are in danger of hypothermia, frostbite. There are people out dying, not only in Seattle, but in cities across the country during the winter times. So, not a lot of people go out and do this kind of thing during the midnight hours. And so that's why we do it when we do it, because, that's when it's going to be the coldest. That's when there's going to be people out moving around, trying their best to stay warm. And so, contrary to popular belief, midnight to 5 a.m., in my opinion, is the best time during the winter months to go out and try to make contact with some of these people who, without the help, may not make it to see the next morning. At this point, we're still on our journey. We decide to pull into an Arco. A lot of times, especially at night, gas stations are what's open, so people will stand outside and look for help. And as we pull in, we see this white van in the back with the hood open, indicating that somebody's there needing some sort of help. So we find this man, very sweet, very genuine guy. He tells me he was a taxi driver for 15 plus years, and he got sick and wasn't able to work anymore and was living in his van, and now he's broke down. And so we stop and we make an attempt to jump his van, but I believe his alternator is bad, because every time we got it started and disconnected, it would die right away. So he didn't request much. We gave him some burgers to eat. We gave him a kit with some snacks and some hand warmers, some water, chapstick. And thank you to everybody who, donates to Fixer Crown and everybody that we work with to get this, done during these colder times and, throughout the year, but especially during these colder times. One of the only requests that he made that we were not able to fulfill that night was he needs a battery, is what he says. I also believe he needs an alternator. And he needs more propane tanks because currently that's how he's heating himself and preparing food. One of our last stops of the night was at a street that has become sort of a tent city community, compiled of RVs and temporary structures built with plywood and tarps and vehicles. One person actually had a fire burning underneath of a vehicle with no wheels that was up on jacks, and it just was burning the bottom part of the car to try to keep them warm. I pulled over and I parked and I made contact with the only man that was outside. I gave him one of the kits, one of the bags, and we gave him some sweatpants, a few blankets, and a jacket. And we asked if he could go around and just gather anybody who was awake. And this is where, finally we were able to unload the rest of the resources that we had on us for that night. At this time, it's probably sometime close to 5 in the morning. By then, we had been out all night. Just prior to this, we had helped a man at a bus stop who was sleeping at a bus stop. We were able to feed him some burgers as well and give him a hand-warming kit. So there I go, walking up to greet the first man I told you about, and then quickly news spreads that somebody's there with help, and all of a sudden the car's surrounded and everybody's there with smiles and thank yous, and they're all just happy to see somebody who cares and somebody who's gonna just make a little bit of the coldness pain go away for whatever amount of time it is. Something that us housed people can often take for granted is just 5 minutes of comfort, 1 minute of comfort, just to not have to feel the stinging cold pain, frozen toes and frozen fingers. I handed out roughly 20 hamburgers here, and that was the rest of what we had, and handed out the rest of the kits, the rest of the blankets. Had some great conversations with some very genuine people, and I hope through donations that we're able to go back and see this little community again. They all seemed to band together and make sure that every one of them got their fair share. They all made sure that everybody woke up and came out and received the help that they needed. So like and share and subscribe, whatever platform you're seeing this on, and let's spread it around, and let's get some people donating, hopefully, and let's try to get the money in the hands of the right people, because unfortunately a lot of the times the money that's allocated to the things like this from the city just aren't doing the correct things, or they mean well, but it isn't right where it's immediately needed. So we hope to build a large team of people who can go out on the prowl like this and find people who are in immediate need and help them with their immediate needs. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed Saving Seattle.